Have you ever closed your laptop or put down your phone and suddenly noticed your shoulders are up around your ears? Your neck is in knots, your jaw is tight, even your breathing changes. It's different. Maybe your mind feels scattered or restless, even though you were just sitting still. Or maybe you're reading your phone in the car and you all of a sudden feel this intense nausea. This is real. This has happened to me personally. And it took me a while to figure out what exactly was going on. It happens to so many of us, and it's not just in our heads. Our bodies are responding to something very, very real. Constant digital stimulation. Hello and welcome, friends. I'm Rebecca Aramini Lupo, the creator of Body Illumination. I have both a YouTube channel and a Patreon channel with all kinds of somatic exercises and yoga and Pilates, all kinds of goodies. If you haven't been there before, please go check it out. And I also have a membership on both YouTube and Patreon. So the topic today is something that's really near and dear to my heart because I live with this personally and also in my family with my kids. Many technologies that we live with today are designed to capture and hold our attention through small bursts of novelty, notifications, scrolling, quick videos, new information appearing every few seconds. Each tiny moment of novelty triggers a small release of dopamine, the chemical involved in motivation, reward, and attention. Close your eyes for a moment and just tap into these sounds. Where do you feel this in your body? Is it in your jaw, your throat? Do you feel a change in your saliva or your belly? Now, keep listening. How do these sounds make you feel? Where do you feel that in your body? When you listen to the ocean, notice maybe your breath begins to lengthen. Maybe your shoulders start to soften when you hear birds or nature. These subtle sensations are part of what somatic practices help us to notice, the way sound, movement, and environment can gently shape our nervous system. Now, conversely, when we hear those technology sounds, the beeps, the rings, the notifications, we are getting low-level micro trauma. This kind of dopamine hit is very different from the deep, satisfying reward we get from running a mile or practicing a nice somatic class with me, completing a challenging project, or building something with our hands. When I'm done with certain things like crafts or cooking or even painting, I feel a very soothed, therapeutic sense. But these digital bursts are quick, fleeting, and highly stimulating, which is part of why it can feel so addictive, leaving us to crave more, even when it doesn't truly nourish or energize us. Over time, when our attention is constantly pulled in many directions, the nervous system can remain in a subtle state of alertness, not necessarily a full fight or flight response, but a low level hum of activation. Can you relate to this? I call it micro trauma, and I've referred to it in my classes It's something that in the fitness and wellness world, we talk about all the time regarding our posture and also emotional situations and circumstances. And now this is coming in through a different portal through the digital world. And our bodies feel it. You may notice it as tension in the neck, shoulders, tightness in the jaw. You can feel it behind your eyes or the collapsed chest from leaning forward toward a screen known as tech neck, or even feeling that your breath never quite settles all the way down in your belly. Now, fascia, which we've talked about often, is the connective tissue that wraps and weaves through your entire body. I talk about it as your Spidey suit, your Spider Woman or Spider Man suit, and it responds to these patterns. Long hours of stillness in the same posture combined with nervous system activation can make fascia feel dense, restricted, and dehydrated. So I'm going to repeat that. Long hours of stillness in the same posture. So check out your body when you're on your phone, when you're working on your computer, combined with the nervous system activation makes our fascia feel dense, restricted, and dehydrated. And it doesn't just make us feel that way, it is moving that way. Think about reading your phone in the car. In minutes, many people feel dizzy or nauseous. I know I have done this personally, and I've gotten really sick from it. This happens because your brain is receiving conflicting sensory information. Your eyes tell your brain you are still, but your inner ear senses movement. That mismatch triggers a warning signal in your nervous system, an uncomfortable physical response, and reveals how sensitive our bodies are to overstimulation. This is big, big, big information, friends. And this is where somatic practices become incredibly powerful. Somatic comes from the Greek word soma, meaning body. And in modern wellness and movement practices, somatic refers to anything that emphasizes awareness of the body from inside out. So there's all different degrees of somatics, just like there's all different degrees of yin and yang. One of the beautiful things about somatic movement and yoga is that they help us to develop a different kind of awareness. Instead of being completely absorbed in what is happening around us, we begin to cultivate what some people describe as a gentle observer within ourselves. I talk about this in my classes as the third person, that quiet awareness that notices what the body is doing. Through somatics, you may start catching yourself more often, and they translate into our other practices. So you'll be doing maybe a power yoga class or a long run, and all of a sudden you tap in more often. You feel your posture differently. So you might be getting that endorphin high, but you pause and you say, where am I holding? In the back of my neck, in my shoulders. You notice when your shoulders lift towards your ears or when your jaw begins to clench. You catch yourself also at the computer and notice when you're holding your breath in a conversation with somebody. So instead of pushing through, you pause, you soften, you adjust. That moment of awareness is incredibly powerful. It interrupts the automatic patterns that both the nervous system and the fascia tend to repeat. And over time, these moments of noticing can reshape how we move through our day, how we move through our life. And this expands into so many other aspects of our life. It helps us to cultivate that inner knowledge. Somatic movement, yoga, Pilates, mindful breathing help us support healthier dopamine rhythms. Unlike the quick spikes created by scrolling or notifications, practices like yoga create a slower, steadier release of neurochemicals that support focus, mood, motivation. Movement increases circulation, breathing deepens, and the nervous system begins to shift toward a parasympathetic state, the state where the body can rest, repair, and restore. Some of us will do well with just one somatic practice a week. And some of us are a little more sensitive and we crave maybe 2, 3, 4, maybe 7 days a week or more. It's very personal. And a lot of us notice that after a yoga or somatic practice, your mind is clearer, the body feels lighter, and your attention feels more grounded. Instead of chasing stimulation, the nervous system begins to rediscover a sense of internal balance, and we feel inspired to live again. And moments like this, when we move, breathe, and notice ourselves, help us return to something many of us have quietly longed for: the feeling of being truly at home in our bodies and alive. That sense of ease where movement flows naturally, where breath feels spacious, where your body feels supportive instead of restrictive. That feeling of flow is something I personally yearned for a long, long time. Not just flexibility or strength, but the experience of living in a body that feels safe, fluid, and connected. I've always loved movement, all kinds of movement. And for many years, I've craved the intensity of kickboxing, the rush of spin, and the challenge of running marathons. Those practices gave me strength, endurance, exhilaration. But somatics has helped me to tap into something a little different. It's not about pushing harder or going faster. It's about listening to my body from the inside out, noticing tension patterns, and moving with curiosity and awareness. It's something I've always craved, but never indulged. Somatic movement has opened a doorway to a deeper sense of ease, flow, and connection, a way to experience my body that goes beyond performance and leaves me feeling truly at home in myself. Our modern digital lives don't have to steal that away from us. And somatics reminds us how to reclaim it. Gentle eye, neck, and shoulder resets to counteract screen tension, slow fascial flows, somatic spirals, hydrate and release fascia, mindful breathing, and vagus nerve exercises to calm the nervous system, pausing to notice posture and tension before it becomes chronic. These small resets give us the space in between the event and the reaction and remind the nervous system that it's safe to settle again. And when the nervous system settles, fascia softens, breath deepens, our attention feels grounded. And over time, this practice builds a subtle but profound sense of awareness, the kind that allows you to catch yourself in real time. Notice patterns before they tighten or trigger stress and create that chronic pain. It creates the space to choose a healthier response. This is the power of somatics, yoga, mindful movement, not just the body, but for your nervous system, your mind, and your ability to navigate the modern digital world with ease. And my friends, when you take the courage to sit and listen to me or get on the mat, you are changing yourself, your life, and the world. And that courage will shape our future because it scares me. It scares me as a mom because this is so needed for our future, for future generations, this awareness. Our bodies are magnificent. The brain evolved through wide peripheral vision, not constant narrow screen focus. And your eyes are a very integral part of your nervous system. And constant screen focus activates ocular muscles, cranial nerves, orienting reflex. And this keeps your brain in that high alert mode. So, my friends, continue what you are doing. Continue to be curious about your body. Hop on a mat, go for a walk, breathe, draw, create, and live. Okay, before I get emotional, If you are interested in 6 months of practices with me, 5 days a week, 7 for members, I have a wonderful resource for you. It's a PDF calendar with links directly to all of my classes you can follow along with for 6 months. And I also have extra exclusives on my Patreon and YouTube channel, but there's loads and loads of resources available for free on my YouTube, Body Illumination, Yoga Pilates with Rebecca. Go check it out. Thank you so much for joining me today and being part of this like-minded community. It's an honor. Namaste.